Okay, that's it for the night, guys. Oh, that was never gonna work. Kitty. Stupid cat. Hey, hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. It is Friday, guys. I tried just back there to play a song about betrayal. That's the Nirvana song, I think. Anyways. We got betrayed yesterday, guys, big time. It's a bad thing and a good thing. The breaking news is that the Department of Education and the Department of Justice finally, after years of promising that they were going to stop opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court, we got from them this new bankruptcy process, and they tried very hard to push it out in the media all day long and tout it as like, oh, very big deal. You know, if you read the Forbes magazine headlines, huge move. It was none of those things, ladies and gentlemen. It was a blatant betrayal of us. The idea, and this is something that we were pushing Greg Murphy, then candidate Biden's campaign manager on, and he said he would do it. This is something that James Cavall, that we started also with James Cavall, who is now Undersecretary of Education, and he said he would do it to stop opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. Right now, you file for bankruptcy, you have to do an adversarial proceeding. You have to do all this bullshit, and when ECMC shows up in court to oppose you, you have to go and prove undue hardship, and it never happens, it never works. Almost no one ever gets it, and that is the thing that's stopping us. So the idea was that when people do all that stuff I said, the Department of Education will not oppose them. So the adversarial proceeding solves itself, and student loans become treated the same as all other loans, as they should be in bankruptcy court. That was the original idea. What we got was not only nothing, it was far worse than nothing. What we got was the Department of Education and Justice saying, okay, so there's still undue hardship. That standard still exists that you have to pass. The only difference is, instead of presenting it in open court, you're going to fill out a little questionnaire from us. And we, the Department of Education and Justice, are going to determine whether you pass the undue hardship test or not. And they said some vague, ambiguous things about how they're going to do good faith consideration, but no. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the wolf taking control of the hen house. This is unelected bureaucrats in and around the Department of Education and Justice, including places like ECMC, who are going to assume the power of the judge for all intents and purposes. Because Justice Department was involved in this, the instructions to judges, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing, or the way it will actually work out, is that the judges will go, okay, did you prove undue hardship? Okay, we have this thing from the Department of Justice or the Department of Education saying, no, you did not, therefore denied. That's how that's going to go. So nothing changed. The only difference was that, as I said, the undue hardship thing gets taken from open court and shoved down into the bowels of the Department of Education. And remember, guys, these are the very same people, Department of Education and its contractors, its lawyers, attorneys, and non-lawyers, just regular staffers at places like ECMC, who in the past have opposed student loan borrowers for things like, oh, there was this woman who went to McDonald's on Sundays, and they go, no, don't grant this discharge. She goes to McDonald's on Sundays. That's a frivolous expense. They've opposed borrowers. There was this other, I could go on forever, but just one more little example. There was a woman who had, I believe, a 14-year-old son. They go, no, don't discharge these loans. This woman has a 14-year-old son, and in a year, he'll be able to legally work and earn money and help his mom pay off her student loans. So this is what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Undue hardship is fully intact. And quite frankly, I think it's probably even worse than before. So don't be fooled, guys. We've been doing this for many years. We will not be fooled. we see a betrayal when it is, and we call it for exactly what it is. And quite frankly, that really pisses me off, because we had longstanding promises from the Secretary of Education, from James Caval, from Richard Cordray. I even had fucking Joe Biden's campaign manager, and there was no ambiguity at all about what was sought and what was expected. They were supposed to stop opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. Yeah, they're not doing that. Maybe technically, maybe they aren't opposing them in an adversarial proceeding in court, but the opposition now, as I said, has been shoved down into the bowels of the Department of Education. It's a fucking joke. It's frankly humorous how much of a fucking joke, a betrayal joke, this is. So, anyways, I'm moving on. In a way, it's a good thing now, ladies and gentlemen, because at this point in the game, it's a very important game, where the stakes are very high for your student loans by the end of the year. There was two things we were fighting for. One is the return of bankruptcy to student loans through legislation. That is S2598, HR 9110, and we're getting just tantalizingly close on that. But I'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing was, this administrative action where the Department of Education was supposed to stop opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. So that second thing is a bust, ladies and gentlemen. It is worse than a bust. It's a cruel joke. So now we can forget about that. That leaves only one thing that matters. Whatever you want to see happen with your own student loans, whether you want cancellation, whether you want some kind of a break on interest, whether you want some fair negotiated settlement, only one thing has to happen. And that is, we need to get our bills passed by the end of the year. S2598 and HR 9110. If you forget everything that I say tonight, particularly if you're new to the group, remember this. If you want your student loans to be solved, it absolutely starts. This is a working, fighting group. We need you. Absolutely starts with you doing our daily action every single day from here to the rest of the year. You're not better than us. We're a fully grassroots group, so nothing gets done unless we, meaning me and you and everybody on this group, does their part. If nobody does their part, we will absolutely fail. January 1st will come. Our legislation that we worked so hard on will expire. It will be gone. And we will be faced with a mixed Congress through which it will be essentially impossible. It will be nearly impossible to get anything meaningful through. So it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Frankly, I'm relieved that at least the question is now answered. And now we can focus on the one thing, the only thing, the one thing that matters, and that is our bills. So, hey, if you're watching us on Facebook or on Twitter, I'm very happy to respond to your questions and comments if I can see them, as always. And I'm just dialing it in now. It's a betrayal, guys. But, we've been doing this for 18 years. The good news is we're used to being betrayed. We can spot a betrayal like that. When we first started this group, they would betray us, and it wouldn't even dawn on us that we were betrayed for months or even years afterwards. We are smarter than that now. We know the swamp tricks. We know the student loan industry's craft. We know how good they are at it, and they're pretty good. But we can spot the tricks and the traps from way far away now. So that's a good thing. And there I am. Okay, I'm waiting for your comments to load now, guys. We're so close, guys. We're so close. And now I can tell you, we have an ace up our sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. There is a film coming out in December, a documentary. It's going to be on MSNBC, on Peacock. By the way, if you're new to the group, welcome. We're the oldest, largest grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. We are a fiercely non-partisan group. We pretty much hate both parties at this point. So whatever your political leanings, you're very welcome on this group. Having said that, there's a film coming out on MSNBC No, we're not a liberal group. It's also premiering on Peacock, and that'll start happening December 11th, I believe. The name of the documentary is called Lone Wolves, but not L-O-N-E, it's L-O-A-N, play on words. L-O-A-N Wolves. Separate from the documentary that we've been working on for over 5 years now, and that's a different thing. But this documentary is extraordinarily important, and I'm not going to give it away, but I will only say that this documentary, we're involved with it, by the way, we're interviewed. This documentary goes exactly to our mission. Like there could be it could not be closer to exactly what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm not going to give it all away. You can do a Google for Lone Wolves and like New York Doc, NYDOC, which is the film festival that it was just in. It's going to be a big deal, guys. It's going to be a national thing. It's going to cause a groundswell. You can watch a sneak preview, actually, by the way. If you find it on NY Docs or whatever that is, you can do a sneak preview. I think it costs like $12 or something. Hey, it looks like we have quite a few comments here. So let me just say, this documentary should be, quite frankly, exactly what we need to push our bill over the top at the 11th and a half hour of this extraordinarily important and historic battle. So check it out, and be ready, guys. I say be ready, but that kind of intones, kick back and do nothing. No, don't do nothing. Do our daily actions at a minimum. As I said, we're going to get killed if you are not out there getting your knuckles bloody and in this fight with us. I can see people like Doug Grossman with us tonight. Lisa. Lisa mentions the film actually is screening at USC, where we screened our film on December 7th. So there's that as well. It's going to be all over the place, guys. It's going to be a very big deal. If you can't tell, I'm very excited. It's anyways. Hey, Rob Miller's with us tonight. Rob is out there getting his knuckles bloody. I can tell you, I saw him on Twitter today saying, fighting the fight. Hey, Doug says, maybe someone on the Hill should slip in a repeal at the last minute. That repeals the 1998 slip in. That's a very good point. Nobody even knows who did it. And you must have seen the documentary, Rob. I think you may have. Nobody knows nobody knew for quite a long time who the actual guy was who slipped in that secret legislation, which took bankruptcy protections away permanently from federal student loans in 1998. It was a big deal. I'm not going to say much more than that, but to say that the film sheds a lot of light on that question. So, but Rob, you make a very good point. Someone on the Hill should undo what was done in 1998 and slip in something in a bill, in a big, omnibus bill that says, oh, by the way, 11 U.S. Code 523A8 is repealed, and all the conforming amendments are repealed. That should happen. I would love to see that. Quite frankly, at this late date in the death spiral of this catastrophically failed lending system, I would like to see a hack on the Department of Education where all their stuff gets fried, like electro EMP or who knows. It would be great to see those guys get hacked and our loans just disappear. Because honestly, guys, I think that would be the best move right now by the Department of Education to stage a break-in, or I don't know. They don't know what to do, guys. They know what I know. And what I know is what I just said. This lending system is catastrophically failed. When they turn on these loans on January 1st, it's going to be carnage. First of all, very few people will pay. Second of all, there's going to be a mass default like nothing we've ever seen before. The loans are essentially vanishing to a mist of illegitimacy at this point. For all involved, what would be the best solution is erase this dying beast, kick it to the curb, throw it on the scrap heap of failed U.S. policy experiments, give everyone a fresh start, begin again. Replace this lending catastrophe with something that actually works, something that's well designed, well thought out, not allowed to be corrupted by greed. That's what actually needs to happen. And I think even the people, even our opposition, even our enemies, in their hearts of hearts, they know that what I'm saying is absolutely true. This sucker's done. You know, lending systems fail from time, ladies and gentlemen. They just do. Look at subprime home mortgages. Look at the S&L crisis. Look at all of Western and, in fact, all of Europe and Russia too, post World War II. Like most economies were essentially catastrophically failed at that. So in the grander scale of things, guys, this is not that big of a deal. But I'm here to tell you guys, as a practical matter, this thing could have a good ending, could have a bad ending. The good ending starts with us getting our bankruptcy rights back. That's the only way that we're going to be able to compel meaningful student loan cancellation. If you can't tell, this election eve nonsense we saw from Joe Biden, it's going to come to nothing. And we said that. We've been saying that whatever Biden does, as long as bankruptcy's gone, it's going to be meaningless. And lo and behold, looks like we were right. And it gives me no pleasure to have to say that I told you so, but we did, guys. And hopefully you're listening now, because we know how to solve this problem. The other groups on Facebook, they obviously do not. We haven't seen them fighting for bankruptcy at all. One of the groups is actually, I happen to know, against bankruptcy. And shame on them for that. One of the groups is straight up corrupted. And they went to great lengths to kill our push for the return of bankruptcy to these loans in 2011. Huge shame on those people. But anyways, hey, are Eugene is with us tonight. EMP of Department of Ed files has always been a dream of mine. Yeah, I don't I shouldn't have even. But yeah, no, seriously, guys, this thing is done. And even the bad guys know that it's done. Nobody knows what the best way to get this stupid thing solved is. Apparently, the people that we were counting on to have courage, people like Richard Cordray, who was damn near governor of Ohio, people with very strong name brand, reputations, household names nearly. We were counting on these guys to have courage, and they utterly failed us. They utterly betrayed us with this nonsense we saw yesterday. And if you can go to our you can go to our Medium channel and read exactly why that thing yesterday from the Department of Education on bankruptcy is just an absolute and utter betrayal. Let me just dial that in for you. You can learn a huge amount. If you're new to the group, by the way, if you want to become pretty much an expert on student loans, go to our Medium. Go to our Medium channel. We publish all of our research findings there, and most of it is unreported, and it is jaw-dropping stuff. We've broken news all over the media in years and decades past. The media has gotten terrible, evil, terrible on this issue. They are essentially propaganda mouthpiece media now, 98% of the time, I would say. So if you want to actually know the truth about student loans, go there, read our most recent 5, 6, 7 articles. Very quick, easy to read. And you will know pretty much what I know. And you will be first of all, it should piss you off. But second of all, you will be able to be a very fierce, maybe most important of all, it will make give you all the tools you need, all the weaponry that you need to be a very fine, fit, fierce, and feared student loan justice warrior. And you can vet all the claims that we make. Almost all of our claims go directly back to the Department of Education, and you can see the data for yourself. Couple other comments here, I think. Got quite a few. If I don't get to all of them tonight, let me just apologize in advance. Vanji Anru says, watching movie Lone Wolves. Can't wait for it to be out on Peacock. Yeah, for sure, Vanji. I don't know exactly how that goes, whether it's going to be free for a week or how that works. But by all means, guys, watch that film and do whatever you can to promote it. This is that film gives us an ace in the hole, but we've got to play it. If we don't play it, nobody will see it. If nobody sees it, then we're not playing it. So Okay, so Vanjie also says extra steps added by JBN's fake-rupsy. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, fake-rupsy, exactly. Totally fake. Everything that we've seen from Biden in the past 2 years on student loans has been fake, guys. I'm very sorry to have to say that. You know, the Democrats are supposed to be the heroes in this whole thing. It's kind of a good cop, bad cop thing. The Democrats are supposed to be the guys who help us. And up to this point, I can only point to betrayals and election gimmicks and nothing but swamp nonsense. So we have it completely in our power, guys, and the Democrats have it completely in their power right now to get our bills passed and finally turn the page on this failed lending catastrophe. Like, what about this lending scam is so fucking important to either party that they would fight so hard to defend it and keep it alive? I don't understand. It makes no sense. The loans will be canceled, ladies and gentlemen. The loans will not be paid. That is the truest thing that I will tell you tonight. There is not even a scintilla of doubt in my mind. The loans will be canceled. Now, this could happen quickly and cleanly, or we could have a dystopian, disgusting, socially unrestful, fatally bad outcome as well that takes years or decades to get done. It could be a dystopian unwinding. We don't want that, guys. We want the good, clean, quick resolution to this problem, shall we say. And the Democrats have the very historically rare opportunity holding both House and Senate and the presidency, all three, the trifecta of power that they need to actually pass this legislation. They have that right now, and they will have that through December 31st. So, guys, if ever you were going to help us fight, your student loans now depend on it. And what we get done between now and December 31st will mean everything. Because come January 1st, loans get turned back on. Do you want to face that reality with or without the threat of bankruptcy back on your side? Think about it. But I'm here to tell you, that will not happen unless way more people, way more on our group own this problem. It is your problem. These are your loans. And help us fight. We're the only group in the country fighting for this, guys. We're it. I would get on my hands and knees and beg you to help us fight if I thought it would do any good. But you know, this all comes down to you. This is your decision. Are you going to sit back, eat popcorn, and watch us be wrecked? And you along with us? Or are you going to join people like me and Vanjie and Derek and everybody else whose names I mentioned earlier tonight, all the people on the group right now who I see out there fighting the battle? There's tens of thousands of people out there who have helped us fight. We have over 1 million people on our petition. So this is not hard. This is not a hard battle to win at all. In fact, I think we'd have the sucker done maybe even by December 1st. If everyone on our group, that is 1 million people, were actually doing our daily actions. So what more can I say to get you off your ass and helping? I can tell you this. It feels very good to fight this battle. I can tell you this. Our opposition, the shitheads at Forbes magazine, the scum-sucking parasites within the bowels of the Department of Education, the collection industry, Sallie Mae, Navient, Fed Loan Servicing, all of those scoundrel, rat, bastard thieves, they want you doing nothing. They want you waiting, watching, worrying, wringing your hands, and wondering what's going to happen. Well, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't give them what they want. You should join us and help us fight. It's a fun fight to fight. We win every battle we're in. It's just a matter of showing up. The daily actions, they're quick. They take probably a minute or less every day to do. And that's the least you can do. You can be calling the media right now and telling them to report on our bills, S2598, HR 9110. You can be calling your local PBS station. You can be calling into radio programs on talk shows, and you can be saying, hey, I want to tell you, you can be calling into C-SPAN every freaking day. There's a million things you can be doing, starting with our daily actions. So, hey, Derek Williams with us. Hey, Derek. Derek says, unreal that they would expect a 15-year-old kid to pay on his mom's student loan debt. I know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I've had people who are totally and permanently disabled who, where the Department of Education literally hired their own doctor to do their own determination, and they contested the total and permanent disability determination. These people go to great lengths to not cancel loans. Department of Education has never had, does not now have, and probably never will have any desire or intentions of actually canceling any loans. So putting them in charge of determining undue hardship for bankruptcy is it's far more than a slap in the face. It's basically like throwing us down on the ground and taking a shit on our heads. I'm sorry to be crude, but that's literally what that thing is. So I digress. Lisa says, what we got is all the evidence we need that the Department of Education has been entirely corrupted by the swamp. Lisa, I could go on for hours, if not days, maybe even, talking about the corruption in and around and through the Department of Education. You know, other federal agencies, I'm sure they do a swell job. We're not here, you know, we're not revolutionaries here. You know, I'm sure the Department of Agriculture, they do a great job with the farmers. Department of Interior does a great job in the interior. I don't even know what that is. But the Department of Education is a failed, captured, corrupted agency, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot not be trusted to administer the federal student loan program any longer. They've showed what they do, and what they do is ruin the country. We don't have to put up with this shit, ladies and gentlemen. I think the founding fathers, frankly, are looking down on us going, why are our citizens so weak? What happened to our people? Why are they letting themselves being conquered and enslaved by this cheesy rat trap of an unconstitutional lending system? Founding fathers are not impressed with us, ladies and gentlemen. They're saying, why have these people not burned their loan papers and, you know, taken the ashes to the harbor? Why have they not tarred and feathered certain people? I think that's what the founding fathers are saying. So, you know, we're fighting for more than just us, guys. This is the camel's nose under the tent. If we allow this student loan injustice to stand, they will extend it. They will extend it to medical debt. They'll extend it to credit cards. They'll extend it to every single kind of consumer debt that isn't held by millionaires and billionaires, more than likely. That's what will happen. So there's a lot riding on this battle, guys. You know, slavery is a very real thing. Indentured servitude is a very real thing in this world, even now here today, even in this country in some places. And it's coming to us if we let it. Hey, Terry Dodd's with us tonight. Terry Dodd, hey, what's up, man? Terry says, good evening, Warriors. What we got was absolute trash. I had to look on my calendar to make sure it wasn't April Fool's Day. Well, hallelujah to that, Terry. That's exactly right. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? You're actually putting this dog shit in front of us and telling us that it's good, that it's in any way helpful. And if you read some of the press releases from people like Senator Dick Durbin, for example, you can tell that they were extremely not impressed either. They go, oh, yeah, they kind of perfunctory thing. Oh, we're glad that the department has clarified its criteria. But Dick Durbin said, yeah, this bill is okay, great. But we need to pass the Fresh Start Through Bankruptcy Act, S9110. It's got to happen, guys. So good on Dick Durbin. If you read through the Washingtonese, you can see Dick Durbin was not impressed. Dick Durbin, Senator Dick Durbin, by the way, is one of the few good guys in this fight. Okay, guys, you know what? I think we're kind of out of town. Lisa, I'm gonna include this comment. So Lisa Ansell says Josh Hawley, MAGA Republican from Missouri. Josh Hawley wrote an op-ed today about the need for the GOP to return to the needs of the middle and working class. Lisa says, I hit him hard on Twitter that this will only materialize when the bankruptcy bill that he himself signed on to materializes into law. Good on you, Lisa. You know, that's something I didn't mention tonight that I should. Our Senate bill is bipartisan, guys. We have John Cornyn, Republican senator from Texas, where terrible things on the student loan issue seem to be coming from lately. John Cornyn is a co-sponsor on our bill, S2598. Josh freaking Hawley is a co-sponsor on our bill, S2598. You know, there are some, at least on the student loan issue, I don't speak for any of those guys on other issues. We never do that. But certainly on the student loan issue, there are some good Republicans out there. And I'm telling you guys, if S2598 was put up to a vote in the Senate today, I would bet you any amount of money, it would pass 90-0. 90-0. There's always going to be some shitheads that are just completely bought off by the student loan industry. But guys, I'm telling you, all public opposition to our bill has vanished, nearly. So, but that bill will not get up for a vote, and its companion bill in the House. None of those good things will happen unless we fight, unless me and you and Lisa and Jackie and Vanjie and Doug and everybody on the live stream tonight and everybody out there. And quite frankly, I think we need around 5% of everybody in our group to be fighting this battle with us. 5%. That's not much. That's 1 out of 20. If 1 out of 20 people on this group do our daily actions, this thing will be solved in weeks, less than a month. Well less than a month. This is going to come down to the wire, guys. We've only got like 4.5 weeks left. You know, Congress goes into their winter recess on I actually know this date now. I think it's January 19th. It may be actually before that. But for all intents and purposes, guys, we have until the end of the third week in December to get this done. And it's just about the end of the third week in November right now here today. So we've got like a month, guys. We've got like 30 days. That's what we got. So if you forget everything I say tonight, guys, we are it. We are making history here. You are a part of it, and we need your help. And if you think that anybody else is going to pull your weight for you, that you're better than us, you're not. And we will be absolutely screwed if we don't get this done by January 1st. So the stakes, your personal stakes, are very high in this battle. So I'll be back on Sunday, guys. Don't rest over the weekend. I certainly am not. And I would hope that you are also doing whatever you can think of to do, way beyond our daily actions, to move the ball forward for us, for S2598, HR 9110. It's all that matters. So I'll see you on Sunday. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday if something big happens. Things are happening quick, very quickly right now, every day on this thing. So good luck. Godspeed and God bless everyone.